What's up, everybody? It's me, Joey P, Joe Pizzapia, back with another Betting Pros Top 10 video for Week 7 in the NFL. Week 6 was wacky and wild. I hope you enjoyed it because Week 7 could be that again. We have tons of teams on buys. We've also got not one, not two, not three, but four. Yes, four Dolphins-related bets in this video. 40% of the top 10 list is going to be about the Dolphins this week. Why? Because the Dolphins are on a historic pace to do something we've never seen in the NFL, at least not for a very long time. They have 15 touchdowns through 6 games. Last time someone did that was 1958. The Dolphins also lead the NFL in rushing yards and in passing yards. And oh wait, Tyreek Hill has 841 receiving yards already, if you can believe it. And we're only 6 games into the season. This is something very special. In fact, the last time that a team led the league in rushing and in passing was 1941, and they were still wearing leather helmets back then. So we're going to invest in the Dolphins because they have a huge game coming up against the Philadelphia Eagles on the road. If they beat the Eagles on the road, a lot of the Dolphins market is going to change and change drastically. So we want to be ahead of the curve. So Uncle Joey's going to help you do that. Before we get there, just a reminder, make sure you drop a comment below and subscribe to the Betting Pros YouTube channel so you could win this Robert Tonyan autographed jersey. Yes, that Robert Tonyan, Chicago Bears own. Win this, give it to a Packer friend of yours. I don't care. Just subscribe to the channel, drop your comments below, and don't forget to click that little bell till it goes ding for notifications. So, without further ado, let's get to all the bets and all the Dolphins bets for Week 7 in the NFL. Let's kick things off here with number 10, the Packers at Broncos. Give me the Broncos on the money line, plus 100. You can get this one over at BetMGM. Now, I know the Broncos are a one-win team, but I will say this. You saw a lot more fight in that dog last week against the Kansas City Chiefs, and I think that might be a good sign of things to come for the Denver Broncos. The defense started to play a little bit better with a little bit more passion, and the Broncos have struggled to run the football ever since Aaron Jones has gotten hurt. That being said, that's the one thing you could really do on the Broncos, but if you don't have Aaron Jones really healthy enough in this game, that's going to be a problem, not to mention Jordan Love has struggled recently as well. So with the Broncos getting a little bit more pass rush on the quarterback and being at home in Denver with Jordan Love on the road, give me the Broncos at plus 100 on the money line and give me some money. Number 9 for Week 7. Let's take the Seahawks minus 7.5 at minus 110 at BetMGM over the Cardinals at home. Now, I know this feels like a pretty big number here with the 7.5 for the Seahawks, but I will say this, despite coming off a loss, I still feel like the Seahawks have enough firepower in that offense to get back home and beat up on the Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals certainly have been plucky to start the season, but you can see now as the season continues to go on, teams are a little bit more prepared for them, not overlooking them, and they are starting to struggle a little bit, including quarterback Joshua Dobbs as well. So despite the fact the Cardinals' effort level has run high, the talent level is running thin there, and I like the Seattle Seahawks in a very favorable home field advantage to cover this 7.5, so you can get it again at minus 110. So go lock that one in early before any other movement happens. Number 8. Let's go with the Browns at Colts under 39, minus 110 over at BetMGM. The Browns have officially made their statement this past week on the defensive side of the football. They are a defense to be reckoned with. Now, we thought that going into the year, and so far, it's been the right thought process. The Browns were tremendous against a high-powered San Francisco 49ers offense last week. And don't tell me about the injuries. Yes, the injuries did happen, but even before CMC left that game or Deebo Samuel, the Cleveland Browns defense played great football. Now you couple that with the fact that Gardner Minshew's under center and underthrowing receivers and having some issues here getting on the same page in this offense so far, I think this under might be pretty much in play despite the fact that it is a low number under 40, and typically I don't like to run towards those. However, when you combine the miscues of Minshew and the defense of the Cleveland Browns, I think this under is in play, so let's lock this one in early. Not to mention, we still don't know what the health is of the quarterback situation for the Cleveland Browns. So give me the under when it comes to Colts and Browns this weekend in Week 7. Number 7 on our list this week, give me the Lions at plus 140 on the money line at DraftKings against the Baltimore Ravens. This one is in Baltimore, hence why you're getting the Lions at plus money. And look, I respect the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson looked much better last week in London, coming off a big victory against the Tennessee Titans. Yes, the defense played pretty well also, but The Ravens have been a little up and down all season, and it's time we give the Lions some respect. Even I last week was a little worried that it might be a trap game against Tampa. It was not. Now, I understand that David Montgomery's injury most likely means he's going to be out for this contest, but at the same time, it looks like Jahmyr Gibbs might be back, and the Lions continue to show you that no matter what the injuries are, somebody keeps stepping up in the void and producing. Not to mention, this defense, especially led by Aiden Hutchinson, is one of the more underrated units in all of the NFL. So I'm going to put my faith in the Lions and the total package that they're going to bring with them to Baltimore. And I just don't trust the Ravens quite yet. So give me the Lions on the money line, and let's give Dan Campbell's boys some darn respect. Now, my next pick might be a little unpopular, but I'm used to being unpopular, so let's do it anyway. The Chargers at Chiefs, over 48.5 at -110 on DraftKings. Yeah, that's right. I said over. This number at 51, I was already leaning towards the over anyway, and now it's been bet down already that the houses had to lower this from 51 to 48.5, and guess what? 62% of the public is still in on the under. That's a very strong public offering, and you know what they always say? Fade the public. So I'm going to fade the public here. I'm going to be unpopular. Now, I'm well aware of the narratives running here. The Chargers can't get out of their own way. And of course, you also have the Kansas City Chiefs, who have not really seemed to put everything together yet on offense and figure out who the ball's going to besides Travis Kelce. I don't care. I'm putting faith in the quarterbacks in this big in-division matchup, because this matchup, the last two times, has gone over 40 in 2022. Yeah, I get it. The rosters have changed a little bit, but at the same time, I think we're going to see some fireworks, and I think everybody's looking for the under, which means you should be looking the other way to make some money. So look with me, won't you, to the over 48.5 in Kansas City. Well, another week, you know what it's time to do. It's time to troll the New England Patriots. The Bills -8.5 on the road, -110 at BetMGM against my lowly New England Patriots. Yes, the Patriots lost another game, and yes, I've bet against them 3 weeks in a row, and yes, I keep making money off of it, so why should I stop? I understand a lot of people right now are looking at this and worried about the Buffalo Bills because they struggled against the Giants on Sunday Night Football. I don't care. I think also what happened there was that Damian Harris incident, which is unfortunate, and hopefully he is on the mend sooner than later. So far, reports have been good on him, and that is great. I think it brought back a lot of bad feelings from last year with all the things that happened around that Damar Hamlin game, and I think the team was just a little shell-shocked. At the end of the day, they pulled it out. The Giants gave them all they can handle. That does not mean week to week anything matters in the NFL necessarily, because the Bills have absolutely been the Patriots' daddy in the last few contests. They have not only beaten them, they have beaten them soundly, and they enjoy beating the Patriots, and they are going to beat the Patriots, I think, well past this 8.5. In fact, I would tease this one up to 10.5 if I could. Oh wait, I can. But in the interest of just being safe and making some cash this week, let's keep the -8.5 at the -110 and start there. But if you're feeling lucky, go ahead, tease away. You have Uncle Joey's permission. All right, this is what you've been waiting for. This is the Miami Dolphins portion of the video. Let's start here with number 4, the Miami Dolphins on the money line at +115 over at Caesars against the Eagles in Philadelphia. Yes, I know the Dolphins are on the road, and the Eagles so far coming off a very bad loss, so I think a lot of people are looking for the Eagles to bounce back, especially at home. Philly's a tough place to play. However, the Dolphins are a tough team to play and a very tough offense to stop, and my big concern is the one Achilles heel for the Philadelphia Eagles all season long has been that secondary. They're not as good as last year, and they're also not as healthy as they were last year, and that's a bad set of circumstances when Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and Tua Tagovailoa are coming to town. This could be a bad situation here, and I think the Dolphins could make a statement here as maybe potentially the best team in the AFC if they can pick up the victory in this one. So let's start here at number 4 in the money line and build up to number 3 on our list. Mike McDaniel, AP Coach of the Year, at +300 over on FanDuel. Now, Mike McDaniel has had an incredible run here with this offense. It is not just good, as I said at the top of this video, it is historically good. DeMeco Ryans deserves some attention for this award. Certainly Dan Campbell does as well. But the expectations, I think, for the Lions were already baked in. However, Mike McDaniel's doing something very special, and if they get this big victory over the Eagles, I think this plus 300 number could really drop significantly, perhaps cut in half to plus 150, as he is a media darling. Everybody loves Mike McDaniel, and don't think that that stuff doesn't matter, because these are media awards. So speaking of media awards, let's go to our next bet on the list. And that bet is number 2, Tyreek Hill, AP Offensive Player of the Year, plus 150 over at FanDuel. Now, you might remember I did this in a video in week 4 when this number was plus 450. I begged you, I implored you to bet this number at plus 450, and I hope you did. And if you didn't, or maybe if you did and you want to do it again, this is the time to double down or get your feet wet before this number goes into the minus, because as I said before, Tyreek Hill is already approaching 1,000 yards in the season, and we're only in week 7. Listen to that again. We're only in week 7. 2,000 yards is on the table for Tyreek Hill. So this is the last time you might see plus 150, especially if this game against the Eagles goes Miami's way. I like to lock this one in. This is your last chance, last warning. I tried to help you in week 4. Now it's week 7. What more can I do? Please just bet Tyreek Hill for this award. I'm Joe Pisapia, and I endorse this message. And our last favorite bet for week 7 in the NFL, Tua Tagovailoa MVP at plus 350 over on DraftKings, and for most passing yards at plus 250 over at FanDuel. Yeah, I'm going to be an overachiever here, and I'm going to throw both of these out here, because if Tyreek Hill reaches that 2,000 yards, this is about stacking bets, just like we stack teams in DFS. We're stacking them here in wagering. It's the same concept. It's all about investing. And although I still believe Mahomes is very much into this award, I still think Jalen Hurts is in the conversation as the second half of the season unfolds. We can't ignore what's going on with the Miami Dolphins any longer. And once again, I keep coming back to the same point. If the Dolphins can assert their dominance over the Eagles this weekend, all these plus money numbers you're getting right now are going to shift towards the minus, and shift quickly. So let's invest at least a little bit now before that happens. If it doesn't and they lose to the Eagles, okay, so what? Still are rolling along at a historic pace. That's still very important. So this might be your last chance to invest in the Dolphins at these kind of numbers, because if they get that big W and they look good doing it, things could change in this market very rapidly for all of these investments. Well, there you have it, everybody. That's what I'm in on this week, and I know it's very Dolphin-centric, but I want to hear from you. What do you think about all my Dolphins love? Drop your comments below in the chat. Subscribe to the channel, win the Robert Tonyan jersey, do all of those things, and make sure you click that bell for notifications so you know if you're the big winner, and every time a piece of amazing content drops here on the channel, because we have got it. We've got the NFL contest going on. We want you to join. Download the Betting Pros app. Start betting smarter, not harder, and bet along with us all season long here at BP. That'll do it for me, Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids.